Brasserie de Chouffe N'Ice.
And remember, life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Ben's Bikes and Booze Reviews. I have got one here from Brasserie de Chouffe, and it is their Nice, which is effectively their winter beer or Christmas beer, whatever you want to call it. And this is one of a range of beers that they do. Now, I've reviewed some of their stuff on the channel before. You used to be able to get some of their stuff, I think it was the Blonde, in the Witherspoons pubs. They used to sell that before they went all Brexity and stopped selling all the European beer. But it was quite good, and I remember I used to drink it on occasion, and it was really nice. It was a good, solid Belgian blonde. This is their winter beer, and obviously it's a dark, fruity type beer, which is typical of European winter beers. Very similar to British Old Ale in some respects, but the Belgians put their twist on it. And this is from the region, the Wallonian region of Belgium, where they speak French.
Air Force should send in several squadrons of farters. These should be followed by bombers. And we should send in paratrippers to capture all the London dicks.
And this is what's the nearest place I can say this is based near. I mean, it looks like it's in the middle of nowhere. It's relatively near Bastogne, so it's right on the Luxembourg border with Belgium. And they've been going since 1982, and it started off in the late 70s as a sort of experiment in these two fellas' garage, and they carried on. And by 1982, they'd got their first beer brewed, and they got it bottled and barreled and started selling it. And it's just gone on from there. And they've been really successful. They've exported to quite a few countries. They got taken over in 2006 by Duvel Morgat. They're quite a big Belgian brewing concern who have taken over quite a few breweries. And of course, they brew their own stuff, the Duvel stuff, which I've reviewed on the channel. Not a bad beer as it goes. And yeah, they've taken these lot over, and they've just gone from strength to strength. You do see these beers now and again online in the UK. They're quite popular. Fair few people drink them, and as I say, they were really popular in the Witherspoons. I remember they sold that, and they sold the Quack stuff, the Pavel Quack stuff, and they even sold Tuka stuff. They still sell Kronbacher, which is unusual because that is brewed in Germany. And I'm not sure why they still do that, but that's a great beer. That's always my go-to beer now if I go to the Witherspoons, and I don't want to risk some of the ales. They have some dodgy ales. I really do have a bit of a bugbear with some of the guest ales they have. If it's not flowing, then you can get bad pints, and I've returned quite a few pints in the Witherspoons over the years where they've just not been flowing, and they've got like a vinegar type flavour to them where they've been sat in the pipes for too long and the yeast has got infected. But anyway, I'm going off topic here. Let's get this stuff open and let's see what's going on. .330ml bottle, 10% ABV, and there is a load of spiel on the back. Let me show you the label. They've got these gnomes on all their bottles, and they have had gnomes as a theme. There's the cap. Get that autofocus working. Come on, you bastard, there you go. And they've had that gnome theme running through all their beers, and each beer has a different gnome, which is quite novel. And there's one on, I think it was the Blonde actually. There's one with a gnome on a bike, and people used to say it was me. Fucking bastards. Anyway, more on that later. Let's get this open. Let's see what's going on. Right, according to the website, this should be drunk out of a tulip glass. There's another look at the cap if you want to have a quick gander. Two little gnomes on there. I think it's is it La Chouffe and Max Chouffe, I think their name is. But yeah, you know, strange bunch of the old French-speaking Belgians. Let's get it in the glass. Now, according to their website, this is flavoured with thyme and orange peel, and the orange peel in this is the Caraca orange peel, which is basically what you get in Vit beers, and it gives it that lovely orangey, rindy type flavour. Oh, I can smell that from here. Can smell it from here. Oh, it smells really good. Candy sugar, banana. Oh, a fair bit of spice in it, like white pepper. A lot of dried fruit coming through now, and caramel malt. Oh, this does smell like a good one. Now I'm going to pour this. I'm going to give it an aggressive pour, because with that amount of alcohol, that head is not going to last long. There it is in the glass. It looks absolutely brilliant. Oh, it smells lovely too. There's like a molasses sweetness to that. Dark dried fruit like dates and raisins and damson. But there's some ethanol. I am getting the ethanol on this now as well. Banana. Not getting the orange peel as much, or the spice. There's a little, as I say, there's a little bit of black pepper spice, but it's getting sweeter now. And as I say, I'm giving it a little bit of an aggressive pour to get a head on it. There it is in the glass. It's a very, very, very dark brown. That probably looks black to you. It looks more like a porter or a stout, but that is brown, believe me. And there it is. That's the lot. Right, let's get it down my fat Gregory pack. Cheers. Oh, fuck. The ethanol. Oh. Fucking hell. I thought the Bush character was big on the ethanol. This is massive, and it really is a winter warmer. Now, I'm not sure whether there's spices in here that are doing that, but it really does go down with a huge ethanol backbone on that, or spirit alcohol, whatever you want. That's really nice. It really is a winter warmer. That just warms all the way down as it's going down from top to bottom. And there's banana, tons of dried fruit on that, caramel malt, a fair bit of candy sugar sweetness on that, and that does last. And it, like I say, it clings to the palate as a good Belgian quad would do. Now, this is quite similar to a quad. It's got big ethanol on it. It's got the big candy sugar sweetness on it too, and the dried fruit. And in many respects, and I've said this before, it's a bit like a really good British old ale. Now, if you've ever tried Old Peculiar on draft, you'll sort of get, if you can imagine, that Old Peculiar on draft is a very light version of this. This is just so flavour intense. The Old Peculiar is very big on its dark fruit, and if you have it on draft, I do recall the number of times that I've drank it on draft. Again, big, I wouldn't say big ethanol, but it's there. You do know there is a little bit of it there, but in this, it is absolutely huge. Oh, fuck. On their website, they do actually have a recipe for this, and it's like a stew. And I imagine, you know, if you cooked off that alcohol, the flavours that would be left would be absolutely amazing. You wouldn't need I don't think anyway, you wouldn't need a real stock cube, just throw some of this in. It'd be really nice. I did a gig once in Lyon and they cooked a steak in wine. And you know me, I fucking hate wine.
And tip 4, men don't order wine, all right?
I don't know what they did to this steak, but it was absolutely amazing. And I think it's because they cooked off all the shittiness from it, and it was just left with, you know, very nice, rich flavours on it. But when you put beer, I mean, you've all had steak and ale pies, and it's usually Old Peculiar is a fantastic beer to cook with. Now, I think it's sacrilege personally, because Old Peculiar is a fantastic pint. You shouldn't really be cooking with it. But stuff like this is in a similar vein. It's that rich, big fruit, caramel malt, a bit of toffee on it. But although you don't really get toffee on this, this is dominated by the sweet molasses type flavour. But it's really nice, and I don't think it's going to be for everyone. A lot of people may find this way too over the top with the alcohol and the sweetness. And I don't know why people do it, but they would compare this to like a Tennant Super, and it's not. It's completely fucking different. This has got far more flavour intense fruits and spices, and it's just more interesting, and it's not like anything like that shitty macro brewed crap. But again, I'm not being patronising here, but an uneducated drinker would try that and say it's disgusting and it's too syrupy and all that. And it's fair enough, you know, if they're not used to that. But I love this type of stuff. It really does make for a good beer. You can see the lacing on it. You see that when it's got that big sweetness and ethanol in it, it sort of clings to the glass. If you ever do that with a whiskey, I'm not really a bad fan of spirits, to be honest, but if you do it with a whiskey, you can see like a film clinging to the side of the glass, and it's doing that here as well. Really nice. I'm getting a little touch of them spices on there now. Dog's playing with a toy. They talk about the orange zest that's in this. I'm not really getting that. I'm just getting big, dark dried fruit, caramel malt, possibly a little touch of toffee, but it's more caramel. But the overwhelming taste on this is the ethanol. And as I say, it may not be everybody's go-to beer, but for me, this is what a winter warmer, certainly a Belgian winter warmer, should taste like. So what's the verdict on Chouffe N'Ice Chouffe? Yeah, I really like it. This is a typical Belgian winter beer. Now, a lot of you may not like that big ethanol backbone. If you like American IPAs, and if you like, you know, the West Coast and East Coast style IPAs, you're not going to like this. If that's your thing, this is the exact opposite. What that is, what the IPAs are to hops, this is to malt and dried fruit, because that's the flavour you're getting, and of course that massive ethanol backbone. But it's really nice. I do like this. I've got quite a lot of winter beers in the fridge, so I'm probably going to be drinking a lot of beers that taste like this. And these are beers for savouring, not gulping. And it's one of them beers or one of them style of beers that you need one or two, and that's it. You can't fucking neck bottles and bottles of this. You will be sick. Believe me, you will vomit, because it is so rich with that alcohol, and that will play havoc with your guts, especially if you've not eaten. That will go straight to your head. But I like this. This is really nice. This is going to get 8.5 out of 10. It does everything that a good Belgian winter beer should do. It's big in flavour. It's got big dried fruit. It's got big ethanol, which will warm as it goes down, giving the impression that it's warming you up. It's not really. Scientifically, it is thinning your blood, so if you go out, you're going to feel it even colder. But don't let that get in the way of a good fucking story. But it is one for you know, sitting in front of the fire with after you've had a big meal or something, and just, you know, sipping that and savouring it, or even drinking it with a meal. Me personally, I like to have nine pints or so. That's when I go on to my kebab. So I sort of have the 9 pint aperitif, then the kebab, and then whatever comes after that. Because I'm fucking well posh, I am. I don't know if I told you that, but you may have found that out already. Anyway, that's an 8.5 out of 10. That is recommended. You can get that on Beers of Europe. It's not too expensive. Anything from this lot so far I've tasted has been good, so I do recommend anything from Le Chouffe or Brasserie de Chouffe. And yeah, enjoy. And remember, beer is working class champagne.